Hello everyone, welcome to another video on the channel as we look ahead to Viktoria Plzen vs Porto in the Europa League matchday 7. Before we get started, remember to hit the subscribe button, and all comments and likes are very much appreciated and help the channel grow. Onto the video. So far, for Porto, it's been 4 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss. However, only one of the wins have come away from home, which was at the beginning of this campaign, where William Gomez's goal in the last few minutes got them the away win at RB Salzburg. So the away form hasn't been as strong as we would have liked in this competition. This week's a chance to end that on a high in the league phase, considering that at Viktoria Plzen haven't played any competitive games in this winter period so far, given that they are on a winter break until the end of this month. But we'll talk a bit more about that in a bit later. But with the match sharpness in Porto's favour, I think this is a chance for them to take advantage of the situation. The away games so far, I'll reflect on the campaign in the Rangers preview, but just going off the away games, I think we expected a bit more from Porto in that game against RB Salzburg, and it didn't turn out that way until the last few minutes when William Gomez scored. Of course, as I have mentioned before, RB Salzburg did have a chance cleared off the line, a disallowed goal for offside, and they exploited some of the pacing issues that Bednarek and Kivior have together. And the Nottingham Forest game, well, apart from that disallowed goal, which was questionable given that Samu received the ball in an onside position, having initially been offside, and the fact that Varela probably had the best chance of the game from Porto's end, the lack of chances was concerning. It really wasn't a good performance, a kind of a disappointing one. And then the Utrecht game, I would have taken a draw from this one beforehand, but considering that Utrecht went down to 10 men and Porto had more chances, it was a bit of a frustrating one that Porto couldn't get the 3 points in that one. And then I can come to this game. I think another theme has come up in the league where Porto haven't been scoring many goals in the past few games, and I'm wondering if we're going to see the same sort of problems here. I certainly would say pick the strongest lineup available that's also, in terms of what would be match fit, with in mind the Monday game against Gil Vicente, and then also it's a chance for Porto to get themselves in the best position possible. Let's remind ourselves what Porto's situation is right now. Currently 8th in the league standings of the Europa League, the league phase. Currently in that top 8 as things stands to qualify to round of 16 directly. Them, along with Braga, are the only teams that haven't confirmed a place in the top 16. The 6 teams in the top 8 are assured of at least a playoff place, which is the top 16. One standout that did come about in that last game was Oscar P. He made an impact when he came on, ran at the Viktoria Guimarães defence with no fear, won the penalty that got scored. This may be an opportunity to start him, albeit Boyas Sainz has been doing all right lately. I think also this is a chance for William and Gomez and Pepe to fight it out, because I've been wanting a bit more from them and they've been lacklustre, particularly Pepe. But I still think Porto are in a stronger position going into this game. And lineup-wise, I would expect something similar to how Farioli has approached the other games, where it's been mostly the first team lineup. It'll go at least strongest-ish here. I don't expect Thiago Silva to start, given that he played 90 minutes against Benfica and I think against Viktoria Guimarães as well. I had a bit of a laggy internet, so I may have missed that substitution at the time. Still probably would get Alberto Costa and Fernandes in the fullback positions, maybe Rosario there instead of one of them. And midfield, I think you can't go too wrong at the moment with Varela or Rosario, or Mora or Vega. Froholt's likely going to be there. Looking at the standings as well, Porto have virtually confirmed a top 16 place in the knockouts with a win. No, actually, it could get at a top 24 place, but it's unlikely that they'll slip. And a win puts them in a good position. Drawing, I think, it'd be disappointing, but not too bad considering that Porto can then finish the job off at home against a Rangers side who are struggling for points. I've been looking for the attack to step up in this game, and as well as use this game as an opportunity to make a statement in terms of how good we could potentially be away from home. And then looking at our opposition for Thursday, Viktoria Plzen, they go into this currently 14th in the table of the league phase, having currently unbeaten, though that being said, they have drawn 4 out of 6 of their games. However, the standout result in this campaign was when they went to Roma and won 2-1. A very impressive result there. But since then, it's been 0-0 draws. But it's been an okay campaign so far. They're still in that top 16. They finished second in their league last season, and as a result, were in the qualifying phase of the Champions League, having initially progressed against Servette from Switzerland, but then lost in the third qualifying round to Rangers, which ultimately Viktoria Plzen in this round in the Europa League. The player to look out for is Matej Vidra, having previously played in the Premier League for Watford, West Brom, Burnley, and has been at a few other teams like Derby County and Club Brugge. Not exactly a player that lit the world up, but he was somebody that got goals, and he has scored in this campaign so far, and I do expect him to be the standout player in this game. Another international that they've got is Iraqi defender, German-born Mirkas Doski, who plays as a defender. As I mentioned earlier, Viktoria Plzen are currently on a winter break, so they've been playing no domestic games. So as a result, compared to Porto, they're going to be at a physical disadvantage because they won't have had the same match fitness as Porto. Then again, I made that comparison when Porto played Malmo, and it didn't end up being as comfortable as it should have been. Given that Porto do need to step up, I think this is probably the best opportunity to do it in terms of in the Europa League, because they're expected to beat Rangers. I think this will prove a bit more if they can get this win. And for my score prediction, I think it's going to be Viktoria Plzen 0, Porto 2. I'm not sure we've got it in us to cruise to a victory, but I think we've got some individuals that can get at us the results. We've had a few 1-0s in the past few weeks in the league and in the cup against Benfica. So I think we can at least get one goal, and it might have to take an impact substitute to get another goal, or even provide one of the other players a goal. But I think we've got it in us to get at the win here, and I think 2-0 is a reasonable prediction. So there were my thoughts. Let me know yours. How are you feeling going into this game? What's your predictions? Let me know how you're feeling coming into this game. And of course, I will be giving a short reflection of the game as it happens afterwards. Then I'll watch the Rangers game, and give a bit of oppositional insight into them ahead of the stream next week, which there will be a stream for Porto vs Rangers previewing it. Hopefully another win comes around and all interaction is appreciated. And until next time, Forza Porto.